Hello YouTube world, Gary here with GBL Iguanas, and you might notice behind me there's a fish tank.
Wow.
You might notice behind me there's another fish tank.
Wow.
And then you might have even seen in the last video, there's another big fish tank.
Wow, you're so dominant.
So something y'all might not know about me is I love fishing fish tanks. I've been into them just as long as I have reptiles, really. So I'm super happy to be getting back into fish more like I used to be. So today I actually want to kind of go through the setup of this 90-gallon aquarium right here. I mean, yes, it's already, pretty much up and running. But there's still a couple little details that I still need to get done with it. And then, of course, fish are going to be added. But I figured, you know what? This is a channel where it's kind of all about, just education with reptiles and stuff. But fish are kind of technically cold-blooded too. So, hey, why not? If you want to see more fish content, drop a comment down below on this video. And, I'm happy to go in depth on more of the fish tank stuff. So, and stick around to the end of this video too. And we'll go visit these other two tanks, and I'll show you about some of the fish in there, including this big dude. Don't worry, that is just currently a quarantine tank, not his tank. But anyway, so right here, we have this 90-gallon aquarium that I got off of Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is a phenomenal place to buy pet supplies at a very good price, because you have people getting out of the hobby, things like that, and you can get things really for a steal. So we'll go over all the costs and everything too. So tank and stand, and it did come with two just kind of crappy hang on the back filters. It did come with a crappy light, a heater, and then a couple of small decorations. I'm not using those filters that came with it. I'm not using the light that came with it. I am using the heater that came with it, and these two green plants, and then all of the rocks all came with it. So that was $250 all in.
Bam! What? Bam!
To go along with the rest of this setup, I have this Hygger, Hygger. I'm going to go with Hygger off of Amazon for the 48-inch light, like $65, $70. I'll put the link down below. It's pretty cool. It's got a day and night mode. It ramps up during the day, ramps down at night, so I don't have to really worry about anything. So we got nice light. Filters. So we have this Sachem Tidal 110. I'm a huge fan of this filter. I'm actually running a Sachem Tidal on all three tanks. I'm a really big fan of overfiltration because one, it's a lot more water flow. Water flow is a phenomenal thing that creates surface agitation. The surface agitation is what in turn oxygenates your tank. But then two, if you're going to either overstock your tank or just have fishes that produce a big bioload, which AKA means a lot of poop.
I got poopy.
Having all that extra filtration is more spots and more area for your beneficial bacteria to grow. And your beneficial bacteria is what takes all that fish poop, which is also ammonia, converts it into nitrite, both of which, ammonia and nitrite, are harmful to fish, and then converts them at the end to nitrate. That is the nitrogen cycle for dummies. So you want tons and tons and tons of filtration. So I've got that inside of it. Well, I don't really want to take the lid off, but I have a couple sponges, some polyfill, and then some Sachem matrix. But then the main filter, I have this Fluval FX4, which actually is not running at the moment, just because got it off Facebook Marketplace, $75. That is a $300 filter, brand new. And the people I got this from, this thing has never even seen water. The hoses had never been cut. The media inside it was still in its bag, sealed up. The only thing is, for some reason, the motor was taken off of it. I guess for storage purposes, because this thing does jet out a little bit. And these three screws that mounted on were missing. Not a huge deal. Contacted Fluval, and they're actually they're sending me out some. So huge shout out to Fluval. I told them this thing was used, and they didn't even ask me to pay for them. It's like, okay, they're on the way. It's like, cool, Fluval fanboy for life. So big fan of Fluval filters regardless. Again, we're going to go into all of that if y'all want to see me talk about our other tanks. So I have the Fluval FX4 filter. I'll take a video of that as I'm putting all the filter media together. Those screws should be in the next day or two. And then that's going to then power up these bad boys, which down here can see the intake right there. Got the outtake right up there. So not too bad. And then I forgot to mention, so this, the Sachem, the Tidal 110, the MSRP on it's usually like 90 bucks, something like that. Excuse me, on Amazon they're like 72. I found this brand spanking new on Facebook Marketplace for $30.
Wow.
Actually, he listed it for 50, but he took my offer of 30. When I talked to this guy, so apparently him and a partner, they buy pallets of undeliverable mail, which I guess is a thing, and then he sells his stuff on Facebook. So he was just trying to get rid of it quickly, and I got super lucky. So yeah, so that's the most of the filtration, and then I do have 2 sponge filters in here as well, which you can see, one right there, one right there. Each of those sponges is rated for up to 60 gallons. About 20 bucks for both of the sponges. And then to run the sponges, you do need an air pump, which underneath here, this nice wide open space for that one little air pump. Which is kind of funny because the FX4, which yes, there is space for it to fit in here, but it doesn't fit through the doorway here. And obviously I'm not going to sit here and move the stand all the way out every time I need to service it. So thankfully, you know, this being in kind of like my back office room, which is a bedroom, I can just keep it off to the side there, and it's really no harm, no foul. So yeah, so that's kind of like the basic setup here. And again, you might be saying, dang, that's a lot of filtration, because, you know, the Tidal hang-on back is rated for 110 gallons. An FX4 on the box, it says it's rated for, you know, 250 gallons, which, I mean, that's excessive. But even still, between that and then the sponge filters, you might be saying, that's excessive filtration. Why are you doing that, Gary? Well, I'm not planning on putting a lot of fish in here. I'm only going to have probably maybe 3 fish in here. But those fish, with their size, don't worry, they're not so big where a 90 can't hold them comfortably. But with their size and their bio load, I like having a lot of filtration. So yeah, so that's, in a nutshell, that's kind of my mini little setup here. Now I got this nice big piece of driftwood here. I apologize, the water is, you know, a little bit cloudy, and then the glass is nasty. I wasn't going to waste my time cleaning off the glass just yet, because when you set up a new tank, you know, it creates, what is dinging at me? It creates messes, so it's just going to get dirty again. So once the fish go in, then I'll probably really clean it up. But got this really cool piece of driftwood right here. Driftwood sucks. It is expensive as all heck. There were some people on the marketplace that were selling some big pieces of driftwood and all that. But I ended up just at a local aquarium store here. I went in and I found it. I got it. It was $160 frickin' dollars. Malaysian driftwood is just stupidly expensive, but it's just really cool. You know, I mean, just the way that it slopes. It's got that big cavity in there. It's just really cool. Now, when you get pieces of driftwood, you've got to soak them, 1, to waterlog them, because otherwise it floats. And 2, you want to remove all the tannins out of there. Tannins is it's something that, I mean, really all wood, but Malaysian driftwood and all the other types, they release these tannins, and it makes the water turn, you know, like a brownish color. It almost makes it look like tea. Doesn't hurt the fish whatsoever. Some fish environments, you know, tannins are a wonderful thing. But for me, in my setup, tannins serve no beneficial purpose. And all they're going to do is make the water look brown. So I don't like that. So normally you boil the wood. A piece like this, can't really boil it. It is, you know, this tank is 27 inches tall. That's a big frickin' piece of driftwood. So I actually put it in our bathtub, which my lovely wife was not too fond of. But I just filled the bathtub up with the hottest water that the tap would do. Let it soak for a couple hours, drained it, refilled it. Just did that a couple times and then the water actually started getting pretty clear. So that's how you can soak big pieces of driftwood, get the tannins out. If it is something smaller, then, you know, just put them in a big pot and boil them. That's really the easiest thing, which I much prefer to do. But yeah, so this is here a little tank. We got some caves built here with the rocks. Caves all built here within the rocks. There's tons of room for moving around and swimming and all sorts of fun stuff. And something else that I'm actually going to do in here is put some pothos plants, because you can actually grow them in your aquarium. So, like, I've got this little hanger here hanging, and you just cut off one of the nodes and then you put it into the water. So pothos is actually a really, really great plant because the stems and the roots are thicker than your typical plant. So it's not something that is easily edible for fish. And what it does, I mean, anyone that keeps fish tanks, if you have live plants in your aquarium, that's going to help to remove things out of the water. It's going to help to remove waste and nitrates. Nitrates, I'm sorry. So like ammonia and nitrates, it really just that's all fertilizer for plants. So once these pothos really get established, that's going to be great. That's just going to be an additional step of filtration. So that's everything for this tank. I'm going to make another video, like I said, when the fish come in, just to show y'all that. But yeah, it came together pretty nice, pretty quick. The sand. I didn't talk about the sand. So this sand is actually, it's called Black Diamond Blasting Sand, I think is what it's called. You can get it at Tractor Supply. It's super cheap. It's $12 for a 50-pound bag. And you got to rinse it out pretty well. It is pretty dusty stuff, but it looks fantastic. Considering you go to a pet store and you want to buy a bag of black sand, I mean, a 10-pound bag of their black sand is probably going to be over $20. So you can get 50 pounds of it for like $12-13. I actually bought 2 bags. I only put 1 in, and I think it's fine. Sometimes I'll put, depending on the tank, I might put a thicker layer of sand, but it's pretty good. I mean, I don't have any issues here. I don't have anything coming into this that's going to be digging through sand where it's going to be a big thing. So that's a good way to set up a really, really cool tank. So stay tuned for when the fish get here. And as I promised, since you stuck with me till the end, thank you very much. Let's just take a look at these other ones. So this is a 40-gallon. Currently, it is set up as my quarantine tank. But once my big tank out front is cycled, fully cycled, which again, that's something we can talk about in another video. These guys are all going to move into there. So, this is just a really simple, basic setup. This is my big boy right here. This is a blue eye Panaque pleco, or plecostomus. So it's a species of armored catfish suckermouth. I've wanted one of these for years and years and years and years and years. I've been waiting a long time. This dude popped up at Jason Cichlids and Plecos online. Good price, I found him, and I had to have him. So, big dude. I mean, just compared to my hand, he's a big dude. He's sitting here just sucking on some cucumber right now. But, I can't wait to get this guy out of this tank and into the big one. And I'm just trying to look around. There is one other smaller pleco. There he is. You can kind of see. There he is. So that's a sunshine pleco. That is an L014. Really, really pretty species of pleco as well, from Jason. So both of these guys are going to move into the big tank out front here as soon as that one is fully cycled, which hopefully, in the next week or two, it should be. And like I said, as I'm going through all of this, if you guys want me to make more fish content and talk about these different types of fish, their care, how to set up quarantine tanks, all that kind of stuff, let me know if y'all have an interest in that. I'd be happy to do it. I've been, like I said, in and around fish for quite some time, and I'd love to share that knowledge if it's something that you guys would like to see. So it is an over-filtered quarantine tank, but that's because he produces ungodly amounts of waste. I mean, that's nothing. That's like a 2 out of 10. So by having 2 big sponge filters, I have a Sachem Shark Pro 900 internal filter, and then I have a Tidal 55. So it is a massive, massive filter tank. But that's what I like. I like doing all of that. So let's go take a look at the other tank real quick. If y'all are still with me, I hope you guys are having loads of fun here. Here is the, there's my shoulder. This is my 120 gallon. Again, got it off Facebook. $250. I had to do a little bit. I painted the sand white. Did have to get all the filters, lights, all that kind of fun stuff. Not a big deal. I'd be happy to go in depth on this tank again if it's something you guys want to see. And then don't jump down my throat. I know these are koi. Everyone says, oh, koi have to be kept in a pond. Yes, but there's actually a link. I'll have to find it. That I did tons of research on this. There's actually in Japan, like some type of koi keepers association there that actually recommends keeping them in aquariums so people can enjoy them more. Of course, I'm going to keep my eye on everything, of course, and if anything gets bad, then at that point I can look at doing something different. But we've got 6 koi in here. As well as 6 different plecos. Got our pothos up here, which that's just an old leaf that started to die. So for the most part, it's doing really well. This leaf's not really doing that great. This leaf's not doing that great, but this is like all new growth. So that's doing real well. Tons and tons and tons of filtration. As far as the plecos go, we've got Mongo the Mango, who you're not gonna really be able to see him, but he's hiding right there. Tons of other plecos in here. And like I mentioned about overfiltration, there's 2 Fluval FX6s underneath. The Fluval FX6 is rated for up to like 400 gallons or something silly. So there's 2 of those, plus the Tidal 110, plus 2 big sponge filters. Because koi produce a large bioload, plecos produce a large bioload. So plenty of filtration, plenty of water movement there. But anyway, yes, let me know. Drop a comment down below. I keep saying it because I really do want to do more. I would love to do aquarium videos with y'all. I'd love to talk more about them. Like I said, I'm a big fan of fish and aquariums, and just I love talking about them. So drop a comment down below. Let me know if you want to see more of those. And there's Chloe, and there's Sambalam. Then there's that special girl. Yeah, so thank y'all for watching and sticking with my rambling. I hope you guys enjoyed taking a little look-see at the tanks, and I'll catch y'all next time.